You've seen them everywhere. Sci-fi movies, the barcode scanner at the grocery store, maybe even in an operating room. Lasers are just part of our world. They're this incredible tool, a beam of light so precise, so focused, it almost feels like magic. But what's actually going on here? I mean, it's obviously not just a super bright flashlight, right? There's something else happening, something fundamentally different about that little red dot. So, what is it? Well, the simple truth is laser light has a superpower. And to really get what that is, we've got to unravel a tiny little secret at the atomic level. We're going to break down the three key ideas that take messy, chaotic, everyday light and turn it into that amazing focused beam of pure energy. Okay, so to appreciate just how disciplined and orderly a laser is, we first have to talk about the total chaos of normal light. Like the light coming from the lamp right next to you. See, normal light is, well, it's a mess. It has three big problems. First, it's incoherent, which means all its light waves are completely out of sync with each other. It's also multi-wavelength, a big jumble of different colors all mixed together. And finally, it's multidirectional, just spraying out in every direction at once. A laser? It fixes all of that. It's the exact, disciplined opposite. So what does incoherent even mean? Imagine this. You're in a giant stadium, and everyone's trying to do the wave. But nobody coordinates. People just stand up and sit down whenever they feel like it. It's just random, chaotic motion. Yeah, that's the light from a light bulb. And that chaos? That's exactly why a flashlight beam gets all wide and dim the further away you get. It just doesn't have any organization. So how in the world do you fix that? Well, the solution, the real magic here, it all happens at the smallest scale you can possibly imagine, the atomic level. The whole game is about forcing atoms to cooperate, to get their little electrons to march in perfect lockstep. It all starts with electrons. You can think of them as living on specific energy levels around an atom, kind of like rungs on a ladder. And when you pump some energy into that atom, say with electricity, an electron can absorb that energy and jump up to a higher, much more unstable rung. We call this the excited state. Now, usually, that excited electron just gets bored and falls back down randomly, spitting out a particle of light, a photon, in any old direction. That's your messy light bulb again. But a laser has this absolutely genius trick to take control of the whole process. And this is the trick. It's called stimulated emission. First, we pump an atom with energy to get its electron excited. Then, and this is the key part, a photon with exactly the right energy comes flying past. This passing photon stimulates the electron to fall down right then and there, and when it does, it releases a second photon that is a perfect clone of the first one. Same energy, same direction, perfectly in sync. Yeah, you heard that right. You're not just making light, you are literally creating perfect, identical copies of light particles. And that right there is the core secret behind every laser on the planet. Okay, so the atomic theory is kind of wild, right? But how do we take that incredible light cloning secret and actually build a machine out of it, something you can actually use? Well, turns out every laser has three essential parts. You need an active medium, that's the special material, maybe a crystal or a gas, where all the cloning actually happens. Then you need an energy source, or a pump, to get all those atoms excited in the first place. And finally, you need an optical cavity, which is really just a fancy name for a couple of mirrors that are about to do something awesome. So these mirrors are the key to building up power. You have one on each end. One is 100% reflective, and the other one lets just a little bit of light through. Those cloned photons start bouncing back and forth between them, and every time they pass through the medium, they stimulate more and more atoms to create more and more clones. It's a chain reaction, a literal avalanche of identical photons. And this whole amazing process is actually hiding right there in the name. LASER is an acronym. It stands for Light Amplification by Stimulated Emission of Radiation. The name literally tells you exactly how it works. How cool is that? So, after all that pumping and cloning and bouncing between mirrors, what finally escapes through that one special mirror? It's light, yeah, but it's light that's been totally disciplined. You could even say it's light perfected. This perfected beam has those three superpowers we were talking about. It's monochromatic, which just means it's one single pure color.
It's coherent, so all the light waves are marching in perfect formation, like that stadium wave finally done right. And it's collimated, which gives it that incredibly straight, narrow beam that just doesn't spread out. And that combination, that perfect order, is what gives a laser all its power. It's what allows a beam of light to get so focused and so energetic that it can cut through solid steel, carry our internet data across oceans, or perform surgery on something as delicate as the human eye. So, the next time you see that tiny red dot from a laser pointer, you'll know. You're holding a whole universe of physics in your hand, all powered by atomic cloning. So, what piece of everyday tech holds a secret that we should unravel next? Let us know.